Assalamu alaikum and peace be unto you. You are tuned in to the Mind of an Entrepreneur show, where we help entrepreneurs like you become happier, healthier, wealthier, and experience more love. And we help you to showcase your products, your services, and introduce you as our new emerging market leaders that are investment worthy and worth paying attention to. So sit back and relax. We're going to be talking today to Brother Ray Young with Malik and the Magic Bowtie. He wrote a children's book. We're going to talk about how important it is that we begin to write books and create imagery and art that is important to our youth. So stay tuned and we will be right back. You're tuned in to the Mind of an Entrepreneur show with your host, myself, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad. I am a multi-million-dollar business developer. I have developed business and real estate around the world, and I want to share with you my mental strategies, my technical strategies, and how I made it in the world of business. So I don't teach theory. I tell you about my life and introduce you to people who can also share with you what they've done to become successful. This is a practical show. This ain't a theory show. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judges, and none can judge against Thee, and he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee. And I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Sister Sajdah. I want to tell you all about our Sajdah House summer tours and fundraising events. Because you are a friend of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House Museum, you are being given a unique sneak peek into this sacred renovation and restoration. The house remains under construction as we inch closer to the finish line. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you this summer. So click the link in the bio or just go to Eventbrite and search Sajdah House Summer Tours and Fundraising Events. Peace and blessings, family. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. I am your sister, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and welcome to the Mind of an Entrepreneur show. Y'all know I love helping businesses, and I love just seeing us thrive in business. I love seeing us do well. And so I'm always picking out a business or someone, and I say, I want to help them. Let me see what I can do to support. And so I've been doing that most of my adult life. They say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And for so many years, when I started out in business, and a lot of times, even now, well, I just want somebody to support me. I want somebody to say, hey, I got you. I want somebody to look out for me in a difficult situation. I want somebody to tap me and go, here's some extra income, or tap me and say, here's some more sales, or here's some extra exposure. And so I try my best to do that for um, those of you that are out here striving, especially our people. And so today, look like our guest just disappeared, but I got a few things to tell you. He'll be back. I saw this brother, Ray Young, who had written a children's book called um, Malik and the Magic Bowtie. And so I said, you know what? I want to reach out. I want to help him because I think it's so incredibly important. So important, y'all, that we write books and that we have art and culture that represents us. How much I wonder if anybody's ever done this calculation. How much has it cost us as a people and ultimately as individuals by us growing up and not really seeing a lot of good positive images about ourselves? How much do you guys think that's cost us? I don't know. It's a rhetorical question, but I think it's something to think about. And I know now we're so blessed with so much content out there. I try to make it a conscious effort to make sure that what I'm feeding myself is something that's going to give me a good image of myself. Something that I pay really close attention to how I feel after I watch something or read something. And so when I saw this, when I saw this brother's book, I just think about how many books we need out there. There's never enough. And I've had other Black authors who are writing Black children's books on the show. And I just want to emphasize that this is viable and it's so, so very important. So I'm going to bring my guest on. We're going to talk with Chad for about 30 minutes, and then I have some other things to tell you all. So let me bring on Brother Ray Young. How are you, Brother Ray?
I'm doing well. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. Tell us about yourself. How did you get started in writing children's books?
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit about my background.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Waco, Texas,
Uh-huh.
where I grew up at, and just a little
They
bit
got
about
black
me.
people in Waco? No, I'm
Huh?
just they
Oh
got
no,
black people. I'm just kidding. I'm being silly.
yeah. So I grew up in a single parent home where I, faced many challenges. With my father being incarcerated, in and out of juvenile, just doing a lot of stuff. My mother knew that I was smart and intelligent. I had a lot of capability of doing things. I just didn't have the guidance at the time. I just kind of
Yeah.
gave up on life. Moving on, after dropping out of high school, wound up going to college. Had to go through many phases of different colleges before I got my first college degree. And today, I can say I have a bachelor's degree, two master's degree, and hopefully one day to get a doctorate degree. Um,
Congratulations.
So when it comes to the writing the book, the one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that you see a positive father figure in the book because we have so many stipulations and stereotypes and uh,
Mm,
issues going to push against the black father.
hmm.
But also in the book, you could put yourself as a parent in that position about empowering your daughter or your son. And so also the name of the book is Malik and the Magic Bowtie. So Malik is my son, and which that name stands for King, a
Mm,
strength, a strong. I wanted him to show that he could see that he can impact other kids that look like him. Oftentimes when I do something similar like this, some of the kids will say, "Hey, where's Malik at?" And so that gives him an opportunity to develop his entrepreneurship, his speaking
Mhm.
abilities, and stuff like that. More so, I wanted to also have the images of us in schools, programs where we don't see ourselves like that. Because I rarely saw books like that. And then another reason is because as African American male, it's not that many of us that are writing children's books.
Right, right. That's what struck me about you, Brother Ray, was I said, this is a black man writing children's book. You don't see that very often. But what I want to go back to, you mentioned the challenges that your father faced and that you faced growing up. And I asked sort of a rhetorical question at the beginning. And then you kind of answered it by saying that you wanted to represent the black father in a children's book. How do you think, or have you put any thought into how your life was impacted by not seeing positive male role models that look like you in the materials that you were given to feed upon mentally as a child?
Right. It impacted me um, psychologically
Hmm.
because I went through a stage of depression, frustration, or that question of is it me? You know,
Yes.
what did I do? Um, One thing is the system itself, the prison system. We know the impact that it does on our black males.
Hmm.
Um, so it really impacted me, at a time where you really need a black father. So between those ages of say 10 and 16 or something like that. So I feel like it really um, did a lot to me at the time.
Yes. And what type of feedback have you received as a result of representing a black father to young black children?
I've had so much feedback. I kind of could give you some examples. I have fathers come up to me and say, "Hey, man, this right here, man, my son or my daughter, we read this every night. This is one of their favorites." Once some kids that went to school, they said dress up as a character. They'll send me pictures from all over. Hey, this is what my kid decided to do. They wanted to dress up like your character. Um, but also the thing is, you see in the book, you see a relationship of something that's been passed down, which we in our culture, when we pass something that's really impactful, say you have some pearls around your neck, you want to give your daughter, and your
Hmm.
daughter is going through some issues at that time in life. You're nowhere around, but when she look at those pearls that you gave her, she remember, I can't give up. I got to keep going.
Right. That is so important. Passing down some kind of spiritual or motivational heirloom that serves as a reminder of the strength and love from that parent or that person that loved you.
Correct.
That's absolutely beautiful. What do you see happening? And this is a little bit of an aside, but what do you see happening to the image of the black father in our public domain, in the arts, in commercials, in pop culture?
Well, I sit back and I'm a very deep thinker, or I'm a person that really observe. And one of the things I don't remember when I seen the positivity of the black family, where the black fathers, leading the house within social media, mainstream movies and stuff. I can pretty much think of that. You're starting to see a change, a takeover. Um, I tell you, the last time I could say, um, I call him my TV father figure was Bill Cosby because I was like, man, I learned a lot from him, the way his personality was. But
Mm.
it's hard that we don't. I mean, it's tough that we don't see that right now, in these days. But I think it's important for us to create things like that, like movies, TV shows, plays that's
Mm.
going to show a strong father figure.
Yes, absolutely. So is this your first book? Had you been writing? I know you went to school, went to college, but do you write anything else, or you just this is your first endeavor?
So this is my first book, but right now in the process, I am on the sequel to this book,
Okay.
and I'm writing for a young girl, excuse me, which is going to be named after my daughter. Her name is Zuri.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So you wrote this for Malik. Now you're going to write for Zuri. What was the process of, how did you get it illustrated? How did you
Mhm.
publish? What advice would you have for anybody who says, "Look, I think I want to do this"?
So the confirmation on the illustration. So I saw someone with the same illustration on Facebook. I reached out to him. Hey, who did your book? The cover and stuff like that. They told me who it was. And okay, I say okay. I say, well, one day I'm gonna probably go and contact this person, which his name is Mr. Tyrus Gaucher.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at an event a year later, and I walk out this building, and to my left, this guy standing with his book, and he's promoting his book. And I was like, man, that illustration looked familiar. So I say, you know what? It's confirmation. It's time to make a
Look at
sacrifice.
that.
And so I put the pen to paper, made sure I reached out to Mr. Gaucher, and we started getting the ball rolling. In regards to publishing, this is just my take. If you want 100% and you willing to put in the work, the grind, self-publish. You could go through a publishing agency, or organization, or whatever. More so, but for me, I'm a big do for self. I
Mhm.
want to make sure that I am able to position myself as well as I could show my kids the way to do it themselves if they decide to do that.
That's exactly right. What type of distribution have you been able to gather?
So, in regards to maybe school districts, and so the book I've donated over to West Africa. I've
Okay.
been able to speak on one of the big radio podcasts in Europe.
Okay.
One of the books is in the Crowley ISD, which is located by Fort Worth, Texas. It's in their Young Man's program. It's also in a couple of school districts. So it's kind of crazy how we met. And when I started listening to the beginning of the show, I have a lot of great friends that are part of the NOI. So I do want to. My goal is to really touch Muhammad University too,
Yeah.
with this book as well. So kind of get more of north,
Well,
but
I'll get
it's
you contact so that you can start maybe the dialogue, because I think it makes sense that the more materials we have out there that represent us, the better.
correct. So it's in nonprofits, counseling centers. Matter of fact, I go and walk in my dentist office, and there it sits on the counter for kids to see. Barbershop. So it's in a variety of places.
That's beautiful. When I saw it, I actually saw your video on YouTube, and I said this would make a great cartoon.
I am hoping that I am able to do that. I know it's cost wise. So I'm just trying to gather the resources in the direction of how to present this and how to get it on screen, because I don't think you ever seen a cartoon or movie a cartoon or movie uh, showing the black father or something like this sort. Now I'm gonna give you kind of a key nugget. The
Okay.
illustrator, he used to actually work for Disney.
Mm.
He's a 3D award winning artist.
So he's an animator.
Hmm.
So look at that. You already got the connection to take it. You can take Malik and Zuri to that next level into animation.
Correct.
So what does Malik say about this?
Oh, he loves it. He said this, huh?
How old is he?
So Malik is 8 years old.
Okay.
He's going on into the third grade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Zuri, she's 11 years old. She'll be one next month. So he is very animated about it. He loves it. He always says, "This is my book." One of his favorite. I have a backpack for Malik, the character, and
Okay.
that's the backpack he loves to wear to the school. I've received pictures where kids wearing the backpack or the T-shirt, and he was like, "Hey, there go my book," you know. So
Yeah.
he loves it. He gets the opportunity to also talk to other kids. So it's really, really great.
I'm so happy for you and proud of you to be able to share that image with your son so he can be walking down the street and see the image of something that was written out of love for him.
Mhm.
And look at how you've turned, your situation around 360 for your child to look up and see that. You really have paid forward, what you've gone through, and it's not all in vain, because I see so much. I see animation, I see toys. I mean, I think the sky's the limits for you.
We're both thinking the same, and I wonder if you don't mind kind of going to the side with this.
I don't mind.
On the book, where it says bow tie, you see me wearing bow ties, and so I really love bow ties. And you said something profound. Says, when he sees it, it just encourages him. Now, a couple of months ago, he comes up to in the morning before school. He says, "Hey, Dad, can I wear one of your bow ties?"
Mm,
And I said, "Man, I was in a moment because now I get to teach my son or tie his first bow tie around his neck while talking to him." And so he was just so glad to wear it. Now I say, look, the book has come to fruition, whereas Malik and the magic bow tie.
look at that. That would have been a great moment. I wish you had videotaped that.
So I actually got a picture out of it, but didn't get it would have been nice to get a video though.
That's okay. You can always make a video just to show people and really to demonstrate. Because I think that Black fathers, when they're on point, they are some of the best parents in the world. Unfortunately, the system has made it difficult. And
Right.
so I am just wanting to do my part to support you, to just let you know that it just made me proud when I read it and I saw it and I said, okay, I gotta talk to this brother and see what level of encouragement I can offer. It may not mean anything, but it could mean a lot. I just want you to know, from one Black sister to a Black brother, that just made me feel so good to see you and your son. I had no idea it was your son when I read the book,
Mm-hmm.
just together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can see. I'll send you an email with a few contacts and maybe even a couple stores here in Chicago that you can, get it in, and maybe even people who do some storytelling. So
Sure.
I'll have my assistant send that out. People are in the chat saying this is beautiful for the Black children. Just representing Malik. I love the fact that he's got a powerful name,
Thank you.
and you chose the bow tie, which is something that is so spiritual for our people. Because if you think back, Brother Ray, to the 1930s,
Mm.
when Black men weren't really allowed to dress up all the time. A lot of people don't realize that Black men were oftentimes restricted in terms of, like, they couldn't look too sharp. You could
Right.
wear a suit, but you were told, like, keep it toned down, keep it dialed back. And when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the Black men are to be salesmen and businessmen and dress them in suits, and taking them from dungarees to suits and to wearing a bow tie, which is like that dignified class, um, giving off class and dignity, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
That it sounds so subtle and almost sounds silly to us today. But if you think about it, back then, where you know Black men were called boys, that just they were beaten down, not being allowed to even have a suit and a bow tie. And so that bow tie is so spiritual in the evolution of the Black man. So to pick that with the name Malik, I just think it's very, very powerful.
Man, just to add to that, one of the things I do with the kids when I go out and speak to them, I said one thing I look at the bow tie as a light practice too. I
Hmm.
say, you first put it on, it's kind of like your muscles start to hurt you. You're all over the place, and it's not going to be perfect and stuff. I said that's just like when you struggling with math or you're dealing with some anger or something. I say you can't give up. You got to keep going until you get it right. Even for a young girl, if she has a bow in her hair,
Hmm.
the first time they put in their hair, that's not all perfect, it's not right, but they're gonna go out there with confidence with it on. I said, you keep going and keep pushing, until you get it right, and you will see that what you do when you take your time and you go through that process, you will respect it and honor it more than ever.
Mm. Brother Ray, you mentioned that growing up you suffered from depression. And you mentioned it a little bit in conjunction with your father and what he went through. How did you pull yourself out of that depression?
I think when I got out of my comfort zone, out of my surroundings, and I
Mm.
started to see the things outside of the box that have been stuck in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have one of my masters in education counseling,
Mm-hmm.
and so I understand the need for sometimes you have to get a breath of fresh air. And then I started to see people that looked like me that were doing positive things in the community, professional, entrepreneur wise. So that what really pushed me to come out of that depression. And once, like I said, once I left my comfort zone and my surrounding, which is where I was from,
Mm-hmm.
when I moved to California with my wife, I was able to see a whole trajectory of things.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that you're in educational counseling. Do you work in the school system?
I actually do. I am with the middle school. I deal with SEL, social emotional learning. I'm over there with administration. So I am in the what they call South Oak Cliff area, Dallas, Texas, and
Mm-hmm.
so I get to see a lot of issues. I get to, help students go through that are dealing with certain things from the home front to the classroom to the after school. So
Mm-hmm. And what's your favorite part with working the children and helping them with their social skills, if you will?
I'll be honest, they see someone that looks like me. So I
Right.
kind of want to share this. I like to bring physical stuff. So I brought my book and I asked the question, do y'all believe I'm an author? And they'll look at me like, no, Mr. Young, no,
You
you're
ain't wrote
not good.
nothing.
Yeah. And see, also have a brand called MIGO, which stands for My Greatness Overcomes. And I
Mm.
said, I had a shirt on. I said, this is my brand. They look at me now. And so I started going and I say, okay, let's get on y'all computers, let's Google. And they look at you like, what are you doing in the hood? Why you here, Miss Young? I
Wow.
said,
So you're saying they Google you, and because you're Googleable and they see you're successful, they can't believe that you would be in the hood with them.
correct. And then they once they start to kind of do their research, I said they start to look at my story. It's like, man, Miss Young, you're not just talking. You really been through it and was able to accomplish things because some young men or young girls are dealing with gangs, they're dealing with family situations, just emotional stuff. So this just is encouragement for them, so they can see someone that looks like them to come back into that type of community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of these, and I think I may know the answer to this again, of these children that you're working with who are struggling, who are in the hood, who feel like you shouldn't be there, is that primarily a self-esteem issue that is a result of, let me ask it this way. What do you think that that's a result of? Why would they think that you wouldn't be in the hood?
Well, the power what's in their hand is social media. And sometimes what you hear is, I want to be a YouTube influencer.
Mm.
Uh, of course, they talk about the rappers, they talk about this, but see, one of the things is I have the opportunity to educate them in this position.
Mhm.
Because I say, guess what? Yeah, it's cool that you have all these rappers. You know what I'm saying? I say, well, let's pull up the list of who owns the business.
Mhm.
And I say, let's see what they look like. And then they'll be amazed. And so just when it comes to YouTube, I said, hey, you ever heard of prop money? They said, what's prop money? I said, it's where they could buy off of Amazon or some type of store where they could put money up to their ear. And you think they got a lot of money. They think they just rich. I said, don't be fooled. But a lot of them are, sometimes it's the psychological images. And that
Yeah.
goes back to the black and white doll situations, how images impact our students, our youth, and our community.
Mhm. Wow, that's amazing. Are people able to order the book online, Ray?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me the website so I can put it up here.
It's www.mygo-brand.com. BRAND.com.
Okay. And this is where they can get the book, Malik and the Magic Bowtie. I'm grateful to have you on the show because so much so with something like this, I want people to see the brand. I want people to see the triumph behind the book that you've written. So when you introduce your book, make sure that you're telling people your story, your background, what you've been through, what you've been through, so that they can see why you felt this was important, because you really are like a subject matter expert on this. A lot of people are just talking, but based on what you've come through and what you've overcome, and you say, I wrote this book and this is why I wrote this book. I work in the school. You got the credentials to back it up as well. So
True.
you the real deal, Brother Ray.
Thank you.
Real deal. Anything you want to say to the audience before we go?
I just encourage them, if you have a gift within you, I like to use I call it the air balloon analogy.
Okay.
So the balloon is on the ground and it's flat. And the thing is, that balloon it's not meant to sit there. And so once the balloon starts, the reason why the balloon starts to kind of go up is because the fire was what's inside of it. And the
Yes.
fire that pushes it up, it moves it around. It's not meant for everybody. It's the gift, that's the fire, what's in your heart, it's in your mind. It's just for you to come push yourself and go on ahead, apply yourself and do it. I was one of the ones kind of had that imposter syndrome. Can I do it? Can I not do it? Now I started putting pen to the paper, and I encourage you to do the same.
Wow. You, like I said, you're the real deal. I appreciate you. I congratulate you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So I know we don't say that enough to our Black men. And I'm looking forward to turning on my phone one day and seeing Malik and the Magic Bowtie cartoon movie. I want to walk into Target or whatever and see your characters in there, whether it's T-shirts or whatever it is. So the sky's the limits. So everybody don't have the same mission, but this is definitely your ministry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else you want to say before we go?
I really thank you for the opportunity. I hope we remain connected. Hopefully one day I can come to Chicago, if it's some type of youth event or something. I don't mind traveling and just come support and encourage some students or youth.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Ray.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Listen, y'all know we always introducing you to emerging new market leaders, industry disruptors. I mean, this is somebody in the industry who has written a book, who is a Black father, named the main character in the book after his son. But look at what he's overcome: depression, challenges that his own father had that impacted him. He's come back. Now he's working with children. He's an educated brother. And so oftentimes when we see these children books that are written by people that don't look like us, they aren't people that have come through this experience. So they're writing a book, and the reason for the book that they're writing is to twist and manipulate the minds of the children that are reading it, or it's just a willy-nilly thing. They just wrote the book, they thought it was cute, and they threw it out there. But this is about creating art and creating books for our children with intention. And that's what the brother was demonstrating to us there today. So I just wanted to let you all know, I literally have been talking all day. So that's why we had a shorter show today. But I also want to mention to you all to go out and get your tours. We're doing some more proof of concept tours. We've got some fundraising events coming up this week for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House. You see the information going across the bottom of the screen. Like and subscribe to this channel. Before y'all do anything, make sure you like and subscribe and support the completion of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House. Order your commemorative Elijah coin. Let me put the link up here. All you have to do is go to Eventbrite, though, and type this in. But here it is. Eventbrite.com. You can get your tours. We're doing some more proof of concept tours and some fundraising this summer. We got some fun things planned. You'll be able to get you some Sajdah bean pie ice cream. I'm not going to spill all the beans, but we hope to have a few special guests there. So get your tickets. Make sure you're there. I don't want to hear it when we don't have enough space. We're still fundraising. The finish line is in sight, and we just ask for your continued support. So tune in Saturday for the Sajdah Saturday Morning Coffee Talks, where we talk about life, love, and business. And I just might start the series on the women in the Bible. And listen, brothers, y'all gonna find this interesting as well. Okay, we're gonna make them modern, bring them to life. Since we all walking through the volume of the book, let's wake up these characters, bring them down to the modern times, and feel their energy, feel their spirit. And so we just may very well start that this Saturday and kick it off with Mary Magdalene. I've been doing a lot of studying. I've been trying to figure out how I was going to present it. Do I want to read her gospel? Do I want to just talk about it? But I think I'm just going to talk about her as a character and as a person. So that's what we're going to do this Saturday. All right, family. Cash App us, Mo Today, $Moetoday, if you just want to make a donation. And we'll see you all Saturday. All right. Peace and blessings, family. I got a video. Now let me show y'all the tour video before we go. I was about to chime us off, but here's the tour video. All right, we'll see you all. Assalamu alaikum. This is Sister Sajdah. I want to tell you all about our Sajdah House summer tours and fundraising events. Because you are a friend of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House Museum, you are being given a unique sneak peek into this sacred renovation and restoration. The house remains under construction as we inch closer to the finish line. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you this summer. So click the link in the bio or just go to Eventbrite and search Sajdah House Summer Tours and Fundraising Events. Greetings, conscious entrepreneurs. Add the Mind of an Entrepreneur show to your Roku TV lineup and catch up on past episodes of all your favorite Mo Today shows.